Imagine this. 2 seconds. We're somewhere around the year 600 BC. A Hebrew prophet named Jeremiah sits in a completely devastated Jerusalem. Everything around him lies in ruins. His people are in exile. And in that exact moment of total despair, he receives a vision. A vision that, from a human perspective, is absolutely impossible. He sees something that doesn't even exist in his own time. Something that would only fully make sense in the 21st century, our time. And here's the crazy part. He sees a very specific place on the map. An extremely narrow geographical point, only about 30 kilometers wide. Back then, it didn't even have a proper name. But today, it holds the entire world in suspense. He saw how this small, seemingly insignificant place would control the fate of nations, trigger global conflicts, and mobilize massive armies from all 4 directions of the earth. Jeremiah wrote only 6 short verses about it. Just 132 words in the original Hebrew. And for over 2,600 years, almost no one truly understood what he saw. Until now. Because right now, as you're watching this, massive oil tankers are slowly passing through that exact location. Jeremiah saw a waterway we know today as the Strait of Hormuz. Every single day, around 21% of the world's oil flows through this tiny passage. And the nation that controls it militarily today is the very same nation Jeremiah identified thousands of years ago. He called it Elam. Today, we know it as the Islamic Republic of Iran. And I'm telling you, everything Jeremiah prophesied about this place, about this nation, about the 4 winds, about the bow that would be broken, and about the global scattering of its people. It is beginning to unfold right now, before our very eyes. I truly believe this is no coincidence. This is the story of a forgotten prophecy, a strategic location, and a God who sees the end from the beginning. Welcome to Heavenly Direction, and to a biblical investigation that will completely change the way you read international news. If you stay with me until the end, I promise you this. You will never look at headlines the same way again. Think about what's happening right now in the Persian Gulf. The rising military tensions between Iran and the Western world. The repeated threats of a total naval blockade. All of this was seen by an ancient prophet. Written down prophetically. Sealed in a sacred book most people have never truly studied. We're talking about Jeremiah 49, the forgotten prophecy about Elam. And Elam didn't just disappear like many ancient kingdoms. No, today it's very much alive. Militarily powerful. And controlling exactly the geographic point Jeremiah said would become crucial in the last days. Let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz. This is not just a trade route. This is the beating energy artery of our entire planet. About 1/5 of the world's oil, and nearly 1/3 of all seaborne oil, must pass through this narrow channel between Iran in the north and Oman in the south. Pause for a moment and really think about that. If Iran decided today to block this strait, even for just 7 days, the global oil price would skyrocket within 48 hours. It would triple. The world economy would slam into a wall. Industries would collapse. Trucks would stop moving. Factories would shut down. Supermarket shelves would go empty. Total economic chaos. And Iran knows this. They know exactly how much power they hold, just because of geography. They lay naval mines. Test hypersonic missiles. Conduct military exercises. And the whole world watches, nervously. But here's what no news anchor will tell you. Jeremiah already prophesied, with astonishing precision, what would happen to that power. In verse 35, he writes, I will break the bow of Elam, the mainstay of their might. If you understand what that means geographically, militarily, and prophetically, it's chilling. Before we go further, let's clarify, who was Elam? Elam was located exactly where southwestern Iran is today. Its capital was Susa, yes, the same biblical city where Daniel served Persian kings, and where Queen Esther risked her life to save her people. Elam is not a metaphor. It's real, documented history. And most importantly, even back then, Elam controlled access to the Persian Gulf. And their warriors? They were the most feared archers in the ancient world. Their bow was legendary. Empires like Assyria and Persia hired Elamite archers as elite forces. The bow was their primary instrument of power. And Jeremiah said, God will break that bow. Why would a prophet in ruined Jerusalem write about a distant nation over 1,500 kilometers away? Because God was revealing something monumental. Something that would only fully unfold in the last days, just before the return of Jesus Christ. Verse 39 says clearly, "In the latter days, I will restore Elam." In biblical prophecy, the latter days always points to the time just before Christ's return. And friends, we are living in those days. Let me ask you something honestly. Did you know before this that Elam is the historical name for modern Iran? Because this one detail is key to understanding today's news. Now let's look at the bow of Elam. The Hebrew word used is keshet. Yes, it can mean a literal bow. But prophetically, it represents military power projected over distance, the ability to strike without direct combat. And what has Iran been building obsessively for the last 40 years? A massive arsenal of ballistic missiles, and advanced attack drones. Weapons that can strike thousands of kilometers away. That is the modern bow of Elam. And God says, He will break it. But Jeremiah goes further. He says, I will bring against Elam the four winds from the four quarters of heaven. In biblical language, that means a coordinated military assault from all directions. North, south, east, west. Look at the map today. To the north, Russia or Turkey. To the south, Saudi Arabia and Arab coalitions. To the east, Pakistan and Afghanistan. To the west, the US and Israel. An attack from all sides, exactly as written thousands of years ago. And the result? A global scattering. Jeremiah says there will be no nation where Elam's refugees do not go. And honestly, we're already seeing the beginnings of that. Millions of Iranians have left their country. They're in Europe, the US, Australia, everywhere. But the prophecy points to something even bigger. A future event that will trigger an even greater exodus. Why would the world attack Iran from all sides? Think about it logically. If Iran attacks Israel directly, or if Israel strikes Iran's nuclear facilities, Iran has repeatedly sworn they will close the Strait of Hormuz. And if that happens, the world must respond. Because without that oil, the global system cannot survive. The four winds would blow. And the modern bow, missiles and drone bases, mostly located in the ancient region of Elam, would be destroyed. And it gets even deeper. Ezekiel 38 names Persia, modern Iran, as part of a coalition against Israel. Today, Iran arms Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. They form a ring of fire around Israel. These proxy groups are like arrows shot from a bow, striking without direct involvement. And God says, that bow will be broken. When the bow breaks, the arrows fall. The entire network collapses. But here's the most important part of all. Why does this matter to you? God didn't give these prophecies so we could build interesting geopolitical theories. He gave them to wake us up, to show us that He is in control, even when the world seems to be falling apart. Yes, Jeremiah 49 speaks of judgment. But it ends with a promise. I will restore Elam. God promises restoration and mercy, not for corrupt leaders, but for the people. And right now, that's already happening. Iran has one of the fastest growing underground Christian movements in the world. Despite severe persecution, millions are turning to Jesus. God is keeping His promise. And this brings me to you. If God could predict with such precision what would happen to a tiny waterway thousands of years in advance, then He knows you, your struggles, your fears, your financial worries, your family problems, and He has a plan for your life. Romans 8 verse 28 says, all things work together for good for those who love God. Not some things. All things. Your situation is not random. You are here for this time. If the news fills you with fear, if you're anxious about war or economic collapse, then today is the day to fix your eyes on Jesus. Forget the false securities of this world. True security is found in the God who controls history. If you don't know Jesus yet, don't wait. Time is short. Prophecy is unfolding before our eyes. Turn to Him. Believe that He died and rose again for you. Give Him your life. And no matter what happens in the Middle East or anywhere else, your soul will be secure for eternity. And to those who already walk with God, stay awake. Study the Bible. Don't let the world lull you to sleep. Talk to others about Jesus. Live a life that honors Him. Because time is short. If this opened your eyes, share it. And stay tuned. Because next, we'll go even deeper into the four winds and the prophetic map of nations. It will take your breath away. Stay blessed. Trust God. And I'll see you next time.